online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey everyone, you're watching AFTERBUZZ TV Spotlight On. I'm your host, Derrial Christon. Today I have a very special guest. She is one of the most sought after new talents in Hollywood. She is currently the star of The Boy Next Door with J-Lo. We have the talented and beautiful Lexi Atkins with us today. How are you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Pretty good. Congratulations on all the success of the movie. I mean, 15 million the opening weekend is huge.
Yeah, it was really, really exciting.
It's getting a lot of burn. I mean, it's even right after American Sniper. They're saying that this film is like going to continue to do well at the box office, so congratulations.
I hope so, yeah, thank you.
Were you expecting that when you first saw the script? I mean, were you as surprised that it was such a great reception to the film?
I wasn't sure, I mean, obviously how well it would do, but just having J-Lo in it, I think I knew that it was definitely going to be great.
Yeah.
You know, anything she does, she's just so amazing and talented and has such a great fan base, so I think that's what really helped this weekend.
She's like the golden woman. She's got the touch of everything. I just watched her concert on HBO, and I was like, when does she sleep?
And what can't she do?
Right. She does everything. Act, sing, you know, everything. She can do it.
Yeah, she's everywhere.
She is. Now, has your life changed like so completely since Hollywood is like really taking a notice to you? And I'm sure your fans have even increased so much too. How's that changed for you overall?
I'm just a lot busier. Yeah, I don't have just the day to just hang out and go on a hike. You know, I used to just kind of be like, so what should I do? And then maybe have like 2 auditions during the week and kind of find things to fill it in. And now it's kind of trying to find time to myself or to do things like that. Yeah, but it's fun. It's kind of everything I've always wanted since I was a little girl, so it's kind of fun to be living it.
Yeah, living the dream.
Yeah.
And then now I want to talk more about the film, but I also want the fans to really get to know who you are. So I know that you are from Champaign, Illinois.
Yes.
You're a Midwest girl all the way. I love the Midwest. I'm from Ohio myself, so I appreciate the Midwest. And now growing up, you're the oldest of your siblings, correct?
Yeah, I'm the oldest of 4.
4, wow.
Yes, 4. It's Midwest. It's normal.
That's true. I guess that's typical Midwest.
Yeah.
And growing up, I know you were really involved in the arts, and your parents really pushed for that.
Yes.
And you were very athletic as well. You were a track star and a cheerleader. How did being an athlete prepare you for the discipline of being an actor?
I think it's kind of the same thing, you know. You have to really love it to do it, and there's always ups and downs, and it's not easy. But I think just having that kind of really did prepare me, because you kind of get used to a schedule and get used to a regimen of how to do things. But it's a little different because there's no like set schedule or coach kind of for acting, and there's no one to really follow. Like for track, if I, you know, run this much and eat this much and do this and kind of do like the little tricks, you're like, oh, I'm definitely I'm set.
right. I'm good. I know what I'm doing.
But for acting, it's such a different world, and so
And then you also participate in a lot of pageants as well. You were a runner-up in Miss Teen USA, and then you actually were Miss Illinois USA, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
And now, how did that kind of like shape your life as far as like moving into more of the entertainment side of the business? And what was the experience like having that crown?
Well, I competed originally for Miss Illinois Teen USA in 2010 because I always wanted to come to LA because I knew I wanted to act, but I didn't. My parents wouldn't let me leave until I was 18, so I kind of was trying to figure out a way to get out of Illinois because all I knew was I had to be in LA. And if you win Miss Teen USA, I found out you get to go to New York and go to the New York Film Academy. So I was like, that's my way out. So I graduated high school a year and a half early, and then I competed. So if I won Miss Teen USA, I'd be already graduated high school, so I could go to New York.
Wow.
And then when I got first runner-up, I went back home, and I had already graduated, and I was like, what am I supposed to do? Like, please let me go to LA. And they wouldn't let me move across the country by myself, you know, when I'm not even 18. So my parents let me go to Chicago, and I lived there for a year on my own and kind of took everything that they had there to offer. So I kind of already had a lot of entertainment type things in Chicago. I did Second City and every class that they had to offer.
That's a really popular one too.
Yeah. My dad's friends with Bill Murray, who said to go there if I'm going to be in Chicago.
Well, Bill Murray is not a bad person to have as a roster of a friend. Has he given you advice while you've been here and just in acting overall?
I think just to love what you do is just the biggest advice that I or anyone can give, especially being in such a hard industry, because it's like a roller coaster. There's so many ups and downs. So if you don't truly love every aspect of it, then, you know, it's going to be really hard.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then with improv, you mentioned, did you know at the time when you first started if you wanted to focus more on dramatic roles or comedic roles?
I definitely wanted to do the dramatic thing, but I didn't. I was like, oh, I don't want to do comedy. Like, that's so easy. And then I realized that it's like way harder.
Time is everything.
Yeah, yes. I never knew that. And being at Second City really helped me. And that's when I moved to LA, I figured out, I started taking class at Leslie Kahn, which is comedy as well.
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be a good kind of transformation. And yeah, it's a lot harder. But Will Ferrell's I'm one of his biggest fans, I think. So
He's a genius.
I love comedy as well. So I don't really know.
And then when you were here and you were studying comedy, how long did it take you, you know, a lot of people move here and they want to be a star and they move to LA and that's their dream goal, but a lot of people, it takes them years and years and years. It seems like with your path that you actually had a pretty quick turnaround as far as like getting success in the industry. How long did it take you once you kind of moved from the Midwest to LA and to get into that first big role that you got?
About 2 years.
Wow.
The first year I was at Leslie Kahn for about a year, and I wanted to go out for an agent or a manager, and she wouldn't let me. She was like, no, I want you to make sure like you're ready before you start being seen by casting directors or anything like that, which I was really happy that she made me do that, because I definitely wasn't ready for anything at that time, even though I wanted it. And then she sent me out for a small role in a little indie film. And the directors liked me so much that they had me audition for the lead, and I booked that. And I was the only one in the whole cast that wasn't repped by anyone, and mostly everyone was repped with my management now. So the director introduced me to Lena at Luba Rockland, and I signed with them, and it all just kind of worked out perfectly. Like one of my third or fourth auditions with them, I booked one of the leads in Zombeavers.
I can't wait to see that.
From there, like I just kind of kept working ever since. So I got really lucky with just how it all worked out. But I think everything happens for a reason. So
It's very true.
yeah, but it's about 2 years for The Boy Next Door.
That's pretty quick. That's amazing actually, because a lot of times, you know, we were saying that so many people take years and years and years. You were very blessed with that.
Yeah, but I still think I wish I would have been here a lot earlier, and I still feel like there's so much more. I'm like, when's the next thing, you know? So even though people say that it does take a long time, for me, I think I have that mindset of like, I want to keep going and faster and
And then Zombeavers, you mentioned, I know that comes out in March 2014. Just the title, when I read it, I was like, this is genius right here.
Zombeavers, yes.
Tell us about your character in the movie.
I played Jen, and it's about kind of a high school, college group of girls who, my boyfriend cheats on me and I'm kind of upset, so my friends take me to the lake house to kind of have a girls' weekend, and then that's when all craziness happens at the lake house there, and zombies attack, and they're beavers, and then we turn into beavers. And it's
So you actually physically, you all turn into beavers as well as part of it?
Yes, and my character had the full beaver transformation, so that was interesting. It was the first thing I ever booked and had done, and so I kind of had everything in one. So I had, full prosthetics and everything. Wow. So it was a really, really interesting role and thing to play for my first time. I remember leaving and being like, what is this world of acting? Because I was like, I think I was growling or something, I was like, I don't know what I just did. Was that okay?
It sounds like that was a probably really interesting set to be on.
It was. It was a lot of fun, though, because everyone kind of came from a comedy world, so we did a lot of improv on set, and so it was kind of nice to be back in that. Kind of reminded me of Second City, and it was just really, really fun. Really, really fun set to be on. And
was there a lot of CGI? Was that involved with like the beavers, or like how was the process with that?
Actually, what's so cool about it is it was all animatronic, so It was kind of like real, puppets coming at you. So it made our jobs a lot easier, I think, because we really did have this scary, like, made beaver attacking us instead of having to pretend and be all CG.
Oh, well, that's cool. At least you got to like have some real interaction with
it was really, really cool. And to see them, they were actually really scary, and they did such a great job on them. Yeah.
And are you a fan of horror films and movies prior to getting cast in this? I guess it's what do they call the new term when it's like, horror meets comedy? I guess it's I don't know. I don't know. There's a word for it that I saw that there's the combination of both. But were you a big fan of horror prior to?
I actually wasn't, because it really freaks me out. Like, I'm more of a fan of comedy than horror. But so it was just all really new to me.
Yeah.
I hadn't been a big fan. I didn't really know how the movies went so.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. I know it premieres in March, so I'm looking forward to seeing it.
I've only seen it 2 or 3 times. My first time was seeing it at Tribeca. Such a funny thing to say that a movie called Zombeavers was at Tribeca Film Festival.
Yeah.
So it was such a funny thing, kind of, once it made it in there. And even all of us, when we were filming, we were kind of confused too. I think everyone felt that, at least the actors were kind of like, is this like, what is this film? It was funny, but we weren't really sure. And then once the trailer came out, it got over 1 million hits on YouTube.
Wow,
but
huge.
It just kind of like skyrocketed from there. And it's been really, really a cool thing to be a part of. But at first, it definitely was one of those low budget films that you weren't sure. And it just kind of shows you that you can kind of come from anything in it. Social media, what it can do.
Social media is an amazing monster.
Yeah.
It really can, and literally can blow something up that you just had no clue.
Yeah. I think that trailer on YouTube really helped us kind of get more well known.
And then you moved on from there to Boy Next Door, which is doing phenomenal, as we mentioned earlier, at the blockbuster movies. Now, with you working on that film, when you first saw the script, what did you feel about the character? Like, what attracted you to wanting to play the role?
Well, I read the script pretty last minute because I was supposed to be actually back home, and I had, it's funny, this one and The Messengers, the CW show that I'm on, both of them were last minute auditions, so I kind of read it really fast before I went in. But the characters, she's so cool. She's, just a high school girl, and I love that her dynamic between Ian Nelson. It's just really sweet how he kind of had a crush on her, and, I really, really liked that dynamic between the two, and I thought that would be fun to play. And definitely to work with Ryan as well, because he was already cast. And I remember when they had offered it, my manager sent me a photo of him, and she was like, P.S., this is who's playing Noah. And I was like, oh my God. I was one of those fangirls as well before I signed on to the project.
Yeah, you guys had great chemistry on set, or on the film as well. So, I mean, you could definitely see that you guys had a lot of fun. On and off camera, it seems like you guys all hung out as well.
Yeah, it was really, really fun. And I was kind of having to pinch myself, too. It was really cool. Rob let me come on set a day before, because I didn't have a chemistry read, so I didn't meet anyone prior. So a day before, I got to go on set and kind of meet everyone and hang out. And it was really surreal to be around such talented people, and especially J-Lo. I come from, I still remember listening to J-Lo's song "Jenny from the Block" in my room. So I'm like, I'm sitting with her. This is cool. So that was really, really. That was one of my favorite memories of filming, was that day where I wasn't actually filming, but I kind of got to watch them perform. And yeah,
it's a huge ensemble cast. I mean, it's a lot of talent in the movie. By watching J-Lo, what do you feel like you took away from some of her performances that you can use, just like kind of that nugget of watching her be such a great performer that she is?
I think how confident she is, and she really, gets into character, and, I think watching her just perform was really, really amazing, and how she's just so confident in what she's doing, and yeah, she just shines.
She does. And then did she give you any key advice while you were filming, or knowing that you were new to the business and she's such the legend that she is? Is there something that she gave you that you're like, I'm going to keep that, and use that for my future?
I think just keep working hard, and the same, like I said before, just if you love it, then, the sky's the limit.
Yeah. And then some of the scenes, I would say, were provocative for for the movie. Was that tough to prepare yourself for the scene that you had that was a little bit more edgy in the film?
It wasn't hard to prepare. I think the hardest thing before actually filming was figuring out if that's what I wanted to do and kind of have my first big thing be. But, you know, talking to Rob and really seeing how it was going to be filmed made me feel so much better, you know, because it could have been filmed not correctly. You know, it could have been filmed a different way. And I didn't want that to be my first kind of like opening thing. But speaking to him, and he's such an amazing director, and it was filmed so perfectly. And I wasn't nervous at all because playing characters, I really get into that. And, you know, I don't really think about what Lexi would think, you know.
Yeah.
I'm really playing Allie, and it was, yeah.
How much are you like Allie in your real life?
I think a lot like her, a little bit. Just she was a regular high school girl, and I don't know, I didn't really have the same experiences as her, but yeah, I think just a lot of high school girls can relate to what she was.
And then in the film also, it seemed like with Noah, was there interest more with Kevin at all? Was it seem like it seemed like you sort of liked him, but then you didn't like him in the movie? Like, what was the real story behind you two?
I really liked Noah, and to get with Noah, he kind of told me that I had to go to the dance with Ian. So yeah, so I that's why I went to the dance in the first place, and you can kind of see that in the scene. Like Noah's looking at me before I kind of am saying, "Oh, I don't have a date to fall fling." So I think that was really planned out before I went with Ian.
Okay. Yeah, it's like
it was kind of planned.
It was planned out.
Yeah, I liked Noah.
And then watching J-Lo in the film, I noticed that, like, you know, she's always really tough normally when she plays roles in movies. And this one, at the beginning, it sort of seemed like she was building her confidence more with that. Now, if you could play her character in the movie, what would you do differently as far as, like, if you had this obsessive, you know, neighbor that's coming after you?
I really don't know. I do not want to say what I would do differently or better than J-Lo. I don't think.
No, not even her acting, but just as the character. Just like as the character, if you had this person who was obsessing over you and you needed to deal with this situation, how would you deal with it?
I really don't know. That's a really hard question. I think it would take me a little bit longer to put myself in those shoes.
Yeah. And then, well, okay, so with the movie, you see that it's such a huge hit and your life is kind of changing a lot because of this process. What would you like to play next in a role that you haven't done as of yet?
Oh, wow. That's a hard question. I really don't know, because I've got to play kind of the high school roles and the college girl, and I also, one of the films I did this past few months was Some Kind of Hate, and I got to play a teacher alongside Jasper. I got to play a teacher, which was really, really cool.
Okay.
So I don't really know what I would choose to play. I don't know. I really don't know.
That's okay. I know you're going to have.
I don't know.
You're going to have such a great career with just different roles that you have coming up. So I know that you also are doing TED 2.
Yeah.
And how was working with Mark Wahlberg? I mean, you're getting like a lot of the big A-listers who've been in the game for a long time to work with.
Yeah, that was such a fun experience. No, it was a day working on set, but really, like, the way that all the crew and everyone worked was so awesome. You could tell they'd done it before, and the dynamic that everyone had was just so fun, and they had some improv as well, and working with them was surreal too. I mean, you kind of have to keep pinching yourself, like, oh my gosh, this is really happening, you know? Like, but it was really exciting, and, you know, kind of tried to soak up everything I could while being on set, and yeah, trying to make it a good memory.
Who is the craziest person on that set? I feel like with Seth MacFarlane and Mark on the set, that it would get pretty funny and hilarious, especially with that movie. Who was probably like one of your favorite people to work with and one of the funniest times on the set? I
think just Ted the Bear, which is Seth, but Ted is just so funny, and it's so cool to see how they film it, because while Seth's directing, he's also, you know, playing as the bear. So it's kind of funny to see him go in and out talking, you know, because he'll talk as Ted, and then he'll talk as him. So it was really, really funny and interesting to see that. And he really, you know, is an amazing actor as well, to be able to transform, you know, like instantly.
Right,
like, you're like, how did you just do that? Like, he's just like directing, then all of a sudden he'll go back into character, and it's just like, wow. It was really, really cool. It was one of my favorite things on set to see and to experience. And Ted's just obviously hilarious. It's what makes the movie. So, yeah, it was fun.
Did you have a favorite scene from the movie?
Oh, I haven't seen it, and I was only in a few, so I don't know. I haven't seen the movie to pick my favorite scene. But the trailer just came out, which is...
Yeah, I just saw it. It looks amazing.
Hilarious, yeah. I think my favorite scene in the trailer was when they're at the sperm donor. What was that called?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where all of it falls on top of them.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about in the trailer.
Yeah, like that was my favorite part of the trailer.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that because they have such great comic timing, and the first one was just so hilarious that I can't imagine that this one would be any different. And probably I read that it's actually going to be even funnier than the first one.
Yes, and it's definitely going to be the movie of the year. And it's a lot different than the first Ted because now it's kind of Ted's story, which you obviously probably saw in the trailer. So that's kind of cool it's going to be different. It won't be the same kind of thing. So that'll be exciting.
And then who would you like to work with that you haven't as of yet? I mean, like I said, you mentioned Mark and some of these other people that you work with, but who would you like to work with on the next film? My
top two. Will Ferrell, which I said before. I am so obsessed with him. If I could play alongside with Will Ferrell, I think I would just die right then and there. That would be so much fun. I'm seriously one of his biggest fans. There's not one movie that he has that I don't not like. And then, of course, I think an obvious kind of thing, Meryl Streep. I think if I could work alongside her, that I could finally call my mom and be like, I made it.
I'm official now.
That would just be... Those two are on my top. If I could make that happen, that would be amazing, and truly could literally be like, I made it, Mom, in my opinion. Yeah. That would be making it to me.
Is she someone who you would say you would want your career to be most emulated after? Is Meryl Streep?
Yeah. Even if you asked, what does Meryl Streep look like? I don't think even I could describe, because she truly becomes each character.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which is so amazing. She's so talented, and I mean, I don't think anyone can say anything bad about her except out of jealousy or something, you know?
Maybe they could say she works too much, because she works so much. It's great. She needs a vacation.
But I think that's what's so awesome about her is she really, truly turns into these characters. And I really, really look up to her and her career, and Jennifer Lawrence as well, just because I love how she's so talented and she's so real too, which I think is a reason why she's so big and has so many, amazing fans who love her just like me, because you watch her and you're like, oh my gosh, she's kind of like me, or she's not perfect, or she's not this, that. I think that's really, really cool about her, and she's so talented and has a really amazing story too, coming from, I think, Kentucky she came from. Yeah. And it's just cool. I love those stories where people, come from the regular kind of life and make it. And J-Lo as well. Yeah.
And I think people see that and they read it, and to me, you are very similar to those styles, like J-Lo and Jennifer Lawrence, especially because they're like someone I feel like everyone can relate to. So in watching your film, you have that same type of energy. So it's great for your fans. So. And now I know you're also working on, as you mentioned, the CW, The Messenger. So what can we expect, and what can fans see from your character on that?
I don't know how much I can say. Okay. But it's it's on a CW show. It's like an apocalyptic. What was over there? Apocalyptic show. Sorry. It's kind of. It starts off with there's a scientist named Vera who's played by Chantal, and something lands into the earth, and she's really fascinated by it, and then all this energy kind of goes by and kind of kills a few people, and they come back to life and become the messengers, and they have this new want to save the world, in a sense. Yeah, and I play Alice, who is Peter. I play Peter's kind of friend from high school, and I kind of help him through his new powers and things.
So it's very sci-fi, it sounds like, very sci-fi-ish.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. I'm really excited about it. And I think it's going to be really, really big.
Did you get a chance to use some of your action expertise? Was there any training for some of the scenes, or how does it work?
No, because I don't have any powers. I'm not a messenger. I tell everyone, I'm like, I hope I die, because then
then they didn't give me any powers. What's up with that?
So there was no training like that, but maybe there will be in the future. I don't know.
And then when is that premiering? Is it coming out?
April 10th.
April 10th. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, that's definitely also a great network to be a part of. Do you feel that you like more of film versus television, or you're pretty open to both?
I get that question a lot, and I really don't know. I think right now, film, because I think I come from more of that and I'm used to it, and I really love the idea that I can truly become a character and then kind of be done in a sense, if that makes sense. It's really cool to be able to keep changing, but when you're on a show, I think you're really that more often. But I've never been, this is my first experience, so I don't know. I think I'd have to do more of it to really see which one I would like more.
Yeah.
But they're both totally different, but and kind of at the same time the same. I don't know. I don't know which one I would like more. But
well, it's interesting too, because you find now that you see a lot of the movie stars and movie actors going to television doing both. So it seems like the window is very open for both opportunities and just seeing how actors kind of transition into both. So but I guess with training it all becomes the same or very similar.
Yeah.
Now, outside of acting, I know that you also are very much involved in health and wellness and being a humanitarian. How did you get involved with that, and what are some of the causes that you like to support? I know you're also an ambassador for 2 individual things as well, so could you give us a little bit of information about that? Yes,
I'm an ambassador for Essential Living Foods, which is one of the number one superfood suppliers in the world, and it's 100% organic, and we give proceeds back to all the farms, and there's no middleman. We get everything from the source, which is really amazing, so you know the quality of the food. And yeah, I've been a fan of them forever, since I moved to LA. I definitely had a Midwest growing up and didn't eat so great. Because I didn't know, which is why I love kind of being a part of these amazing companies, because I get to tell people about them and educate on, what it is to be healthy in different ways, that you can add things to your diet and make it more of a lifestyle instead of, little fads.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're really, really amazing. We have all different kinds of superfoods, from goji berries to trail mixes to on-the-go green powders to proteins. And we have vegan and not, because we have the regular whey protein, which is non-denatured whey, which is so great. It's not heated. It has colostrum in it as well, which comes from the first milking of a cow. So it has almost like human growth hormone in them.
Yeah.
And we have the vegan whey as well, which is great. And yeah, and then I'm an ambassador for Zao Certified Organic Makeup, which is one of my favorite things in the world. I was actually at the Anaheim Convention Center for Essential Living Foods, and in the upstairs they had all like the new products that were coming out, and all of us girls heard there was the organic makeup line. We were like, oh my gosh, we have to go check it out. And I fell in love with their stuff, and I was talking to the owners, and we kind of kept in contact over emails, and that's when I started to become kind of the face for their line and help them, because they just came to the U.S. They are from Europe, and they're in 18 different European countries, but now they just came to the U.S. and kind of helping them get their name out there more.
Wow.
And everything's organic, and our skin is, our biggest organ, and anything that you put into it, it absorbs. And I love that this is all organic and everything's natural, so technically it's good for you and anti-aging, and it has pomegranate oil and everything, amazing things for your skin. And yeah, as being an actress and a model, always having to have a bunch of makeup on all the time, it gets hard on our skin. So finding something like this makes me so happy, and hopefully down the line everyone will start using more of a natural thing for us girls and guys too.
Well, it's like you're making, outside of the makeup, of course, you're making me need to like change my whole diet, and like I feel like I'm eating all the bad things. I need to change a lot of things, eat more organic. But no, but I think that's amazing that you're involved in so many different things. I mean, especially balancing, the entertainment career with, personal causes that you really believe in. It's just, it's outstanding. And what are some of your favorite things to use yourself, like on your own skin? Like if there's a young woman who's listening and she's like, I want to look like you, so what would you recommend of products to use?
Everything from Zao. It's Zao makeup. is amazing. It's all 100% organic, and you won't break out from it. It has all the essential fatty acids in it, and there's no pesticides or parabens or anything like that. So your skin really, like, even if it absorbs it, it's good for it. So I would say anything from that line is just so amazing. And then when it comes to skincare, like washing your face and things, I don't like to use anything. This is gonna be horrible because if one day, like, I always think this. I'm like, what if like Maybelline or something, where like they want you to be the face of their line?
Right,
you know,
right.
like I'm always like feel bad saying things like this, but any product like that, it's just chemicals, you know, again, on your skin, and I just don't really believe in that. So one of my favorite kind of tricks for a face wash is Manuka honey. And I tell friends this, and they're like, what? Like, I don't want to put sticky.
It seems like, it seems like it would be really sticky.
But it's not. It's really not, yeah. And Manuka honey. So honey in general is antibacterial, antimicrobial, but Manuka comes from a Manuka tree, and it's actually known to have healing powers. So it really heals your skin, and you just add some water and rub it into your face. It's not sticky at all, and it comes right off. And you can even use it as shampoo, which is kind of a cool thing. And people get freaked out because, like, I want all that sticky stuff in my hair, but it's really, really great, and it saves you money. Just use honey or coconut oil, apple cider vinegar.
It's much cheaper than buying all those products at the stores.
Yeah, and it's better for you too. I mean, there's certain different detoxes that people say they do, which I forget exactly what they call it, but you don't wash your hair for a while just to kind of get rid of all the chemicals that you're putting in your hair. And at first, like, I've never actually done it, but a lot of people do it who have kind of scalp problems. And you're like, it smells for a few days, but after that, it actually starts smelling good because all the fragrances from your shampoo and conditioner start coming out of your head.
Oh, wow.
So you can do like a detox of like not washing your hair, and it's actually like you'll actually smell the different fragrances that you've been washing into your hair like for years. It's crazy, things like that.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds insane, but it's like I can see how it could really work. And then now it's also award season, so I'm sure some of these things that you just shared with me are helping to keep you looking beautiful for the red carpets that you have coming up. Is there an award show that's one of your favorites that are out there right now?
I think the Oscars. Yeah. It's my favorite.
And have you had a chance to see a lot of the Oscar-nominated films or some of the Oscar-nominated films?
I haven't, no. I've been too busy.
That's okay. Hey, listen, you've been too busy with your film being in the top at the Blockbuster, so I understand. It's okay. Yeah,
I actually, honestly, I didn't even get out Friday night to see the movie. I was so busy.
Oh, wow.
I know, it was like, I want to cry. But Saturday and Sunday I went, obviously, but even things like that to see my own film, like I wasn't even able to see it Friday night when it came out.
Well, I'm sure, you know, as the future continues, you're going to have a lot of times where you're not probably going to be able to see a movie because you're going to stay busy. I got a couple fun questions that I'd like to ask you as well, just about yourself.
Okay.
What is your favorite song out right now?
My favorite song out? Oh, boy. I like Meghan Trainor's new song, I'm Gonna Love You.
Yeah.
And with John Legend's in it as well. That's one of my favorite songs that I've been listening to lately.
That's a great song.
Yeah, and I've been doing music as well, so I really, really like Meghan Trainor's kind of voice and sound, and anything Banks and Meghan Trainor I like.
I love Banks. A lot of people don't know about Banks.
Yeah,
she's really amazing.
Great. Yeah, I love her.
And then you said you were doing a little bit more music. I'll get into these other questions.
Okay.
But what would you like singing, or what would you like to do?
Yeah. I just signed with a music management, and I've been working on that as well, along with everything else.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so writing a lot and kind of working on an album, and yeah.
What would you say that your sound will be like as you're preparing the album?
I really love Banks and Birdie. They're like my two favorite kind of artists, so kind of a mix between
the two.
The two. Yeah.
And then when would your fans be able to expect maybe a final album from you?
I don't know. We're still working on everything right
process.
now. Yeah, nothing soon.
Nothing soon. You're like
nothing
down the line.
in the next like month or so.
You're like, no, it won't be here like in 2 weeks. So
yeah, not in 2 weeks, but
okay.
end of summer.
In the summer, that's a good time. Actually, summer releases are some of the best bought releases, so that's a good time to release. Okay, so if you were stranded on an island for the rest of your life, and you could have one celeb who you could be stranded with, who would it be?
Oh boy, Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell. That was easy.
Yeah, I've just laughed all day long.
Yeah, that's true.
It'd be awesome. I
And then
probably wouldn't survive very long, but
I don't know. I feel like Will probably has some skills that we don't know about. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
We'll give him that credit. If you had, do you have a hidden talent that no one would guess that you had?
No one guessed. I don't know, because I want to say I'm extremely flexible. I'm like really, really double jointed, and I feel like I guess everyone who knows me knows that, but no one. Okay, yeah, I'm really, really flexible.
Like,
yeah, like things like my thumb can go all the way back and my wrist like bend.
Oh, wow.
And being a dancer my whole life, that kind of helped, and with cheer as well. I can like take my leg up to here and like touch it to the ground and things
I will
like that.
not ask you to do that right now, even though I kind of want to see it, and I'm sure the fans do too, but we will not ask you to do it right now. And then, okay, so what would be your favorite movie of all time?
Oh, ooh. Step Brothers?
Step Brothers? Mm-hmm. These, I see a trend here and a pattern. It all goes back to Will Ferrell.
Yeah. Step Brothers, Talladega Nights.
Anything Will Ferrell.
Yeah, anything Will Ferrell.
And then if last question,
Mm-hmm.
what was the last bad date you went on, and why was it a bad date?
I guess I don't know. I don't want to say it was like a horrible date, but I only like eating at certain places. So when it's not a place that I can eat at, it's kind of sucks.
It ruins it.
But it always turns out great, because I end up taking them next time to the places that I like, and I get to introduce them to new healthy things.
That's very true.
So
that was a nice positive spin on that too. I like that. That was a positive spin.
I don't want to end it on something like that.
All right. Well, congratulations again on your film. I mean, it's doing phenomenal at the box office, and fans are loving you and your scenes, and look forward to seeing you in future films as well. Where can your fans find you on social media?
On Instagram, Lex_Stagram. And then on Twitter, it's Lex_Atkins, Atkins.
Well, thank you for joining us today on AfterBuzz Spotlight On, and continued success.
Well, thank you so much.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.